I just found the most awesome thing in the world. Okay, here it starts. I'm looking through the garage because I wanted to work on my U-boat today. I'm looking through the garage for some old plastic parts and some old tools that I could use for this sub. Mainly I was looking for a larger tweezer for small parts and stuff. Then I looked for a wrench because I couldn't open one of the paints over there. And then I came up across, I found this old box full of my old models, and a lot of them were broken. And basically like 95% of them were broken because through the years I made, I don't even know what I'm saying. Through the years I just tossed them aside. They haven't really been one of my favorite things to do, but then I rediscovered modeling, and so it's really fun now. But back in the day I made this. About 5 years ago, and and I couldn't believe it was still intact. I made this in 2008, and I couldn't believe my eyes to see that it was still intact. And I made this back in my old house, and it was just amazing to think that this was the first model that I actually made, because my mother got this for me and decided and thought that I could build it, because I used to build a lot of Legos, mainly Lego Star Wars, so if you want a review on that, you can. Because she thought I was getting too old for that, and I'm like, Ma, you crazy. So anyways, this is the F5 aggressor. I try to label them on the bottom so I always know which one models they were. And if I remember correctly, this was a level 3, and it was really, for me back then, this was hard to do because I was new to the thing and stuff like that. And yeah, and honestly, back then, I think I honestly did a good job back then. I did all the decals right, and I did good. So, it does look good, doesn't it? I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. But, anyways, I'm looking through it, and I find this thing, and I'm like, I thought I threw this away, and I'm like, I was just about to toss this thing, and then, like, out of the dark comes a thought, and says, why not I just tell the people on my YouTube channel about this? And then, yeah, I said, why not? And so I took it in my room, and then I basically dusted it off, and then I basically looked it over again, and honestly, there were a lot of things I didn't do correctly. There were a lot of seam lines I didn't sand. There were a lot of painting mistakes I did. This color coat was actually supposed to be not green but blue. So, alright. And I accidentally messed up on the nose right here. The nose thing. It's supposed to be black, but I stuck it on, then I painted it. So that was a mistake I shouldn't have done. Right here, there's a little bit of roughness because I didn't sand that down. Seam lines are sticking out again. It's like really rough down here. And the cockpit, this completely off. I've completely screwed up here, and I don't even know what was going on in there. I think there was loud noises, so I messed up. But anyways, I completely messed up the cockpit, but whatever. This was an old model. It was one of my firsts. I forgot to paint the machine guns black. So yeah, this was an old Revell model. Wow, this brings back memories of that time. And over here, the decal is not sticking on very well, and it's really pissing me off. So I don't want to touch it or anything. Because I don't want to break it or mess it up even more. So I'm just gonna leave it as is. And yeah, some features that I like are these brake flaps over here. And if I remember correctly, these were a pain in the ass to do. Those were a pain in the ass, because you'd have to get them in the right position right here. You have to get them in the right position, and then get that little piece right there, right over here. This tiny little stick thing. I'm shaking right now. I'm really nervous. I don't want to break it. Right over here. And it took me about an hour and a half to just do both of them. And I'm like, oh, finally. So that really pissed me off. And I also remember building these two landing gear full cover thingies. And these two, they took about 2 hours to do, even though this only took 1 hour, because they kept falling down. No matter what I did, I couldn't think of a single thing. And that was just retarded of me. So, yeah. So, these things took 2 hours to make because they didn't stay up. This took about another hour to make. So, basically, this thing took me about 4 days to make complete. That's what I remember, because this was extremely hard, because you had to stick it up in the right position. You had to attach the cover for the thing, and then you had to stick it and make it stay. And I'm like, stay, you bloody damn thing. But anyways, you got your fuel tanks right here. More fuel tanks. You got your, I think, a main bomb. I'm not quite sure. I think this could be a main bomb, but I can't be too sure. But I did a really, really noob thing to do. Back in 08, I did this for Osama, labeled DUS. That was not smart of me. But anyways, I honestly think to start my modeling career thing, it was a really good plane. I liked it a lot. And then I stopped modeling after, like, I don't even know. Like, I did a couple planes, I did another boat, and then I stopped. I don't even know why anymore. It just slipped my mind. I don't even know why I stopped. It was such a fun hobby, and I'm looking through the box where all my other ones are. All of them are completely trashed. The noses are broken off. I organized them by planes, boats, and I think I made like one car. And all of those are trashed. This was the only one that wasn't trashed. Not that I remember. I'll have to look back and see. I was only... Man. I'm actually gonna... This was my first model. I'm going to put this in my room. I'm not gonna put that in my gross box again, because this was my first model. I'm gonna throw out all the broken ones. And yeah. So tell me what you think about it. Tell me what I could have done to make this thing better. And you never know, I may actually buy the same exact model and do it over again. That'd be funny. But anyways, I'll see you guys there. Give me thumbs up, like this video, subscribe. Man, I could always use that support, because I really want to have my channel grow. Alright, I'll see you later.